Good morning, good morning, good morning, ladies and gentlemen from all across the world. Good afternoon to those who are in other areas, in other parts of the world, in the Asias, and then over in the Africa, and other continents other than the Western Hemisphere. Good day to you all. It truly is a great day for transformation. And I am your host, Samuel. And it's my absolute pleasure to be with you again, as today is the last day of May. It's Wednesday, May 31st, 2023. I'm glad to be with you on this journey this morning, this journey of transformation. As I am the leader and founder of One Transformation Center, where we celebrate humanity. And it is our goal, our mission, it's our intention to inspire, motivate, and heal lives and relationships across the globe. That's why we exist. We are grateful that you've decided to partner with us, whether you're listening live or the replay. We thank you for joining us. Take a moment to please like, share, and comment. Wherever you're listening, wherever you're tuning into, send a hashtag in there. Put a hashtag in the comments, Morning Manifestation. Hashtag Morning Manifestation. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We're glad to see you. We'd like to know our reach. How far are we reaching? We've been in the Africas, we've been in Pakistan, we've been in Asia. Let's keep reaching to all continents, all countries, to every city across the world, every town, every village. For those who are here for the first time, we just have a couple of sessions we're doing. They're about 30, 45 minutes, giving you the tools to start your day. We like to call ourselves the proverbial. Consider ourselves the proverbial gas station. We'll stop here first thing in the morning, get filled up, so you never have to worry about running on empty. All right, good people, get ready. Get ready. Shake the cobweb out as we begin our session. The first thing we're going to do this morning is our 3 breaths, our 3 deep breaths. Wake up. Some of us just waking up. I know that some may not have brushed their teeth and have a little morning breath, but it's okay. We're going to wake up and give ourselves permission to breathe. We so frequently forget the importance of taking a breath. You know, that's what gives us permission to live. Subconsciously, our body automatically breathes, but yet consciously, we forget. When you take that breath, that is the transition. That breath is transitioning you from being in a space of reaction to a space of respondence. It is giving you the oxytocin that you need to go and be viable today. To give you the energy that you need to be of service in your full potential. To be fully present and aware of this moment. So as we breathe this morning, I want us to consider, I want us to really embrace with each inhale, the alignment, the allowance, the acceptance of everything that is working together for your best and highest good right now in this present moment. Every idea, every vision, every thought, every belief, every person, place, and thing that is truly awaiting your arrival. And with each exhale, we're going to let go, release anything that no longer serves us, that no longer supports us, that no longer operates in our best and highest good. Let's begin to breathe. Inhale through your nose. And exhale. Again, inhale deeply through your nose. And release everything, everyone, every place, every idea, every limited belief that no longer supports you, that is no longer operating for your best and highest good. One last breath. Let's make it intentional. Fill up your lungs. Fill up every part of your being with air. Breathe. Inhale. And exhale. Now roll your shoulders back and forth, up and down. Raise your hands above your head. And back down again. Shake it off. Do you feel the blood rushing through your body, quickening its pace, moving into your veins and your capillaries, bringing the oxygen to every part of you? That's what it feels like to be alive. Just take a moment and sit in this space and fully embrace it. As we prepare for the oath of manifestation, which I like to call a Declaration of Independence. The oath of manifestation, which is a promise to ourselves. It's the oath. It's the promise that gives us permission, that holds us accountable with aligning and allowing ourselves to be available to that which is unexpected as well as expected, that which is unseen as well as seen, the tangible as well as the intangible, that is here presently, ready to work on your best and highest good, to support you on your journey. I've placed it on the screen. So you to read along. So please do so with absolute passion. And we declare, I accept and receive unexpected good, unexpected money, unexpected love, unexpected kindness, unexpected generosity, unexpected offers, unexpected prosperity, coming in unexpected ways, from unexpected places in my life and in the life of others. I am constantly guided and boldly empowered to receive the lavish abundance of the universe. I accept the principle that abundance and prosperity have already been given to me. My acceptance makes it real and opens the space for manifestation to rush in. I open wide the doors of my consciousness to receive and to give. It is done now. Through this oath of manifestation, all things are possible. I declare absolutely that I live in a friendly universe that is always providing for me. I feel it powerfully happening now. I open to receive more abundance and to give more abundance than I have ever experienced before. I can afford anything I desire. In fact, I am so prosperous, I need never worry again. I am grateful for all that I already have, and grateful for all that I am ready to give. I keep myself lifted in high consciousness, no matter what the appearances are. God is all there is. I let the God times roll, and so it is. And so it is. Let's take this moment and allow these words, this promise that we've made to ourselves, to be placed on the mantle of our hearts, to activate each and every one of our cells and ignite our DNA to be in total alignment. For you are absolutely deserving. Now let's take time to transition over to our affirmative reading. It's time for our affirmative reading, which derives from A Course in Miracles. You can find A Course in Miracles online at www.acim.org. acim.org. Today's lesson derives from lesson 151, which reminds us that all things are echoes of the voice for God. I've placed the direct location in the chat for you to view it now or later. And I've also placed it on the screen as well. I was going to have this narrated, but yet decided to read it along with you. And it reads, all things are echoes for the voice for God. Let me make this full screen for you. All things are echoes for the voice of the voice for God. Not the voice of God, but for the voice of the voice for God. Let's take a listen. No one can judge on partial evidence. That is not judgment. It is merely an opinion based on ignorance and doubt. Its seeming certainty is but a cloak for the uncertainty it would conceal. It needs irrational defense because it is irrational. And its defense seems strong, convincing, and without a doubt because of all the doubting underneath. You do not seem to doubt the world you see. You do not really question what is shown you through the body's eyes. Nor do you ask why you believe it, even though you learned a long while since your senses do deceive. That you believe them to the last detail, which they report is even stranger. When you pause to recollect how frequently they have been faulty witnesses indeed. Why would you trust them so implicitly? Why but because of the underlying doubt which you would hide with show of certainty? How can you judge? Your judgment rests upon the witness that your senses offer you. Yet witness never falser was than this. Yet witness never falser was than this. Meaning there was no more of a false witness. No witness more false than this. But how else do you judge the world you see? You place pathetic faith in what your eyes and ears report. You think your fingers touch reality and close upon the truth. I repeat that. You think your fingers touch reality and close upon the truth. This is the awareness that you understand and think more real than what is witnessed by the eternal voice for God Himself. Can this be judgment? You have often been urged to refrain from judging, not because it is a right to be withheld from you. You cannot judge. You merely can believe the ego's judgments, of all of which are false. It guides your senses carefully to prove how weak you are, how helpless and afraid, how apprehensive of just punishment, how black with sin, how wretched in your guilt. This thing it speaks of, and we yet defend, it tells you is yourself. And you believe that this is so stubborn. I repeat, and you believe that this is so with stubborn certainty. You believe this is the truth. Yet underneath remains the hidden doubt that what it shows you as reality, with such conviction it does not believe. It is itself alone that it condones, that it condemns. It is itself alone that it condemns. It is within itself it sees the guilt. It is its own despair it sees in you. This is talking about the ego. Hear not its voice. He witnesses its sins to prove you its evil is your own or false. I'll repeat that. Hear not its voice. The witnesses it sends to prove to you its evil is your own or false, and speaks with certainty of what they do not know. Your faith in them is blind because you would not share the doubts the Lord cannot completely vanquish. You believe to doubt his vassals is to doubt yourself. Yet, you must learn to doubt that evidence will clear the way to recognize yourself. Yet, you must learn to doubt that evidence will clear the way to recognize yourself. And let the voice for God alone be judge of what is worthy of your own belief. He will not tell you that your brother should be judged by what your own eyes behold in him, nor what his body's mouth says to your ears, nor what your fingers touch reports of him. He passes by such idle witnesses, which merely bear false witness to God's Son. He recognizes only what God loves. And in the holy light of what he sees, do all the eagle's dreams of what you are vanish before the splendor he beholds. Let him be judge of what you are, for he has certainty in which there is no doubt, because it rests on certainty so great that doubt is meaningless before its face. Christ cannot doubt himself. The voice for God can only honor him, rejoicing in his perfect, everlasting sinlessness. Whom he has judged can only laugh at guilt, unwilling now to play with toys of sin, unheeding of the body's witness before the rapture of Christ, holy face. And thus he judges you. Accept his word for what you are, for he bears witness to your beautiful creation, and the mind whose thought created your reality. What can the body mean to him who knows the glory of the Father and the Son? What whispers of the ego can he hear? What could convince him that your sins are real? Let him be judge as well of everything that seems to happen to you in this world. His lessons will enable you to bridge the gap between illusions and the truth. He will remove all faith that you have placed in pain, disaster, suffering, and loss. He gives you vision which you can look beyond these grim appearances and can behold the gentle face of Christ in all of them. You will no longer doubt that only good can come to you who are beloved of God. For he will judge all happenings and teach the single lesson that they all contain. He will select the elements in them which represent the truth and disregard those aspects which reflect but idle dreams. And he will reinterpret all you see and all occurrences, each circumstance, and every happening that seems to touch on you in any way from his one frame of reference, wholly unified and sure. And you will see the love beyond the hate, the constancy in change, the pure in sin, and only heaven's blessing on the world. Such is your resurrection. For your life is not a part of anything you see. It stands beyond the body and the world, past every witness for unholiness, within the holy, holy as itself. In everyone and everything, his voice would speak to you of nothing but yourself and your Creator, who is one with him. So will you see the holy face of Christ in everything, and hear in everything no sound except the echo of God's voice? We practice wordlessly today, except at the beginning of the time we spend with God. We introduce these times with but a single, slow repeating of the thought with which the day begins. And then we watch our thoughts, appealing silently to Him who sees the elements of truth in them. Let Him evaluate each thought that comes to mind. Remind the elements of dream. Remove the elements of dreams and give them back again as clean ideas that do not contradict the will of God. Give Him your thoughts. He will give them back as miracles, which joyously proclaim the wholeness and the happiness God wills His Son as proof of His eternal love. And as each thought is thus transformed, it takes on healing power from the mind which saw the truth in it and failed to be deceived by what was falsely added. All the threads of fantasy are gone, and what remains is unified into a perfect thought that offers its perfection everywhere. Spend 15 minutes when you awake, and gladly give another 15 more before you go to sleep. Your ministry begins as all your thoughts are purified. So you are taught to teach the Son of God the holy lesson of His sanctity. No one can fail to listen. When you hear the voice for God, give honor to God's Son. And everyone will share the thoughts with you, which He has retranslated in your mind. Such is your Eastertide. And so you lay the gift of snow white lilies on the world, replacing witnesses to sin and death. Through your transfiguration is the world redeemed and joyfully released from guilt. Now do we lift our resurrected minds in gladness and in gratitude to Him who has restored our sanctity to us. And we will hourly remember Him who is salvation and deliverance. And we will hourly remember Him who is salvation and deliverance. As we give thanks, the world unites with us and happily accepts our holy thoughts, which heaven has corrected and made pure. Now has our ministry begun at last, to carry around the world the joyous news that truth has no illusions, and the peace of God through us belongs to everyone. And this is the reading of the Word today. I just want to touch a few points. A few things came up. Let's start with this idea about judgment. And it says, no one can judge on partial evidence. Meaning that what we have created, the ideas that we have arrived to, the energy that we surrender ourselves to, that we make our realities, is based upon incomplete information. And with incomplete information, we can't really bring forth a true conclusion. I want you to think about it in this regards. Someone has a false narrative that's been shared with someone. Maybe they have had relations with you, and and desire to continue to have relations with you, yet it is not in the best interest of anybody. But because they desire it so much and you are not interested any longer, they present a narrative that is slanted and that is fueled with victimhood. They spew words throughout the ethers to do anything to cause defamation. How would you feel about that? Is that one-sided story truth? Is that enough to formulate an understanding of what the truth is in the situation? I'm pretty sure that you would agree that that is insufficient. Here's the reason why it's necessary for us to remove the desire or the need to judge anyone or anything. Why? Because you don't have the full story. You're operating on misinformation, partial information. You're allowing your ideas, your imagination to fill in the gaps. You're going out there and using your senses to help you to get a deeper understanding, or you're using empathy or compassion to identify with one person in the experience. How is that fair? And if it's not fair for you, then it's not fair for your brother or your sister. So we must release the need to formulate judgments. Next, you seem to doubt the world you see. You do not seem to doubt the world you see. It seems like we, and I can attest to this in a different way, we take everything at face value, or because it may sound right, it may look right. Somebody may present some ideas, an illusion to create a narrative. We buy into it. We buy into it, and because of our investment, we create a reality that we do not want. We create a reality about an economy that is downtrodden. We created a reality that society is in bad shape, when the reality is our friends and our family and our circle and our communities, our neighborhoods show differently. We have different experiences that is not so vast. It's not so finite. So we contribute to those narratives. Even though they're false on basis, there's nothing true about them, because we established the baseline of truth. The baseline of truth is facts. Truth cannot be changed. It cannot be wrestled. It cannot be relegated. It cannot be negotiated. It cannot be compromised. Truth is only truth. The more you grow, the more you expand, you get a greater understanding of the truth, because you're releasing your ego. But yet, you seem not to doubt the world you see. For me, a personal reference. Sometimes I still allow circumstances and situations to get the best of me. I still allow it. I still allow circumstances and situations to dictate my thinking. I put limitations or limiting beliefs upon myself that have no business being there. And I've made them factual, I've made them truths, when they're all filled with fallacy, filled with illusion. There's times that I've told myself that I'm not worthy of something. And so I've disallowed myself from being able to have it, from accessing it, from having the experience of it, simply because I continue to buy into a world that is not real, full of illusions. Can you identify with that yourself? We think that when a relationship changes and we go we may move in different directions, we think that it's time for sadness. Or we create a story of bringing about hurt and pain. That there's no way that you can continue to be friends. There's no way that you can be evolved souls and know that, hey, we have just reached as far as we can go together. I desire to go in this direction, and I know you desire to go in that direction, and I don't want to pull you with me because that would take you off course from where you are supposed to be. So I honor who you are and the agreement that you've made before you came into this physical space. So you entered into this human experience, and allow you to go forth and continue to be the light, the expression, the extension, and illumination of God that you have agreed to become. And I do not desire for me to prevent you from being that. We can't choose that for some reason. We have to choose hate. We have to choose discord or discourse. Anxiety, frustration. Somebody has to be the bad guy for some reason. Why? Why? We buy into this idea of loss and lack as if we don't live in an experience that is limitless, where there's more than enough for everyone. We often say that if everyone gave $1 to another, we would all be wealthy. There are 9 billion people on this earth? If we all gave each other $1? Some would say, well, if we all gave each other $1, it's 9 billion people, and all you had was $1, and you gave $1 to that person, that means you still with $1. Well, see, that you may be correct in that space, but here's the thing that you haven't stated. That $1 that you have now becomes significantly more valuable because you've leveled the playing field. And no one owns more than the other. You have access to more than you previously had. That's the key. That's the key. So the question I have for you is, why would you trust them so implicitly? Why would you trust your ego, your emotion, your thoughts, your senses so implicitly? Why would you trust the news? Why would you trust people who are operating out here for their own best interests so implicitly? Why would you trust these philosophers and ministers, pastors and bishops, popes, kings and queens, presidents, senators and congressmen, politicians, statesmen, employers, managers, employees? Why would you trust them so implicitly when it's obvious that they're out here for their own independent good? That they're driven by their ego. But still we have to ask the question, how can you judge? How can you judge? What basis do you have? What authority do you have to judge? Even the master teacher Jesus said, it is not unto me, but unto the Father. So what gives you greater authority, greater insight, to be able to make this consensus with limited information? That's ego, I tell you. That's all ego. E-G-O, edging God out. You can't judge. I tell people all the time, I said, you can't judge. You try so hard to control someone else, but the reality is you can't even control your own self, your own thoughts, your own behaviors, and your own actions. Start there. And once you begin and you become fully vested and invested, then you realize you don't have time to judge anyone else. You don't have time to form a narrative and opinion of another. You're too busy being the very best version of yourself, being that light to the world to see, giving permission unconsciously and subconsciously, giving permission for people to show up and be their best selves, to reconnect and be realigned with the truth of who God is. The next thoughts, the note that I took from this, it says, the witnesses it seems to prove to you its evil is your own or fault, and speak with certainty of what they do not know. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. The witnesses it sends to you to prove to you its evil is your own or fault. Do you understand that we have bought into a narrative that we are the problem? I want you just to look and listen to what's happening around you. There is a narrative that's been created that says you are the problem. Look at the politics. Look at the news. Look at the relationships. Look at your job and the corporate identity and philosophies. Just take a look. It's written out. It's right there before your eyes. The ego wants you to think. Some of you want to call it the devil and other choice words. But we take personal responsibility over here. Because the actions that we take are our actions. We made the decisions. We could have chose differently with better information, but yet we did not. But the good news is we have the opportunity to renew our mind, to make better decisions right here and right now. So it says the witnesses it sends to prove to you its evil is your own. It wants you to believe that you're the bad guy, that you're evil, that you're jaded, that you're unsalvageable. That you're limited. It wants to blindside you and to put blinders on you to prevent you from truly seeing the power that is invested in you. For you are a creation. You are created in the image and likeness thereof. which means you are an extension and reflection of the master creator, that which is all powerful, that which is all knowing, that which is everywhere at every time, every moment, that which transcends all of this. That's who you are. But yet, there is this idea that has you constantly chasing for an identity that has never left you. And you say, what do you mean by that? You're out here chasing your spiritual identity, aren't you? Trying to figure out who you are spiritually, doing all this spiritual work. When the reality is your spirit is perfect, whole, and complete. It is that extension. That is who God is. It dwells within this house, within this vessel, this vehicle, that is supposed to serve and support it and give it the ability to show up in its masterful ways in this human experience. Yet we've placed our priorities on being a human being or human doing. And now we're trying to figure out who we are spiritually. When the Spirit says, I don't need you to figure out. I am that I am. I just need you to get behind me and do the work and make sure that you are primed and ready, that you are at full capacity physically, and that you will not not prevent me from being able to show up in my full, masterful self. That you will agree to fulfill your soul contract, to be the best and highest version, to do the work on your physical self, your mental self, your emotional self, that it doesn't enable us, it doesn't prevent us from seeing and realizing the level of success from an absolute space of ease. But yet we pay attention to these people, places, and things, these ideas and philosophies that speak with certainty of what they do not know. Just take some time. I want you to ponder on that. Let that sit in for a moment. And while you do so, the next reminder is, let the voice for God alone be of what is worthy of your own belief. We went through 2 weeks. 1 week. 1 week that says that, it reminded us that we're choosing the voice and the mind of God, to be one with the mind of God. So now we're asking you to let the voice for God alone be that which is worthy of your time, of your energy, of your focus, of your true belief, your true life. And you do this by accepting His word for what you are. For He bears witness to your beautiful creation and the mind whose thought created your reality. That all comes from the Creator. Why would you go to another source to get any information when that source doesn't bear witness to your beautiful creation? It may see it, but it doesn't embrace it. It doesn't honor it. It doesn't respect it. Why would you go to a source whose mind didn't enhance or inspire the thought that created your reality, that created the heavens and earth and the firmaments thereof, that is all powerful, that is omnipresent, that is all knowing? Why would you go somewhere else that doesn't have those capacities to get any information? I challenge you today not to do that any longer, and to stand in the space of understanding by listening for the voice of God, having that to be your guide, to lead your way, to steer your path, to order your steps. I'm not speaking to you from a religious perspective either. I'm speaking to you from a space of understanding, of inspiration, a space of motivation, a space of healing, and reminding you of where all that derives from. From that which was created in your image. From that which image you were created. You are perfect, whole, and complete. You don't need validation from anyone, for you were already validated. Your parking was already validated when you arrived on the scene, because you are connected to the very source that is superior and supreme. That is the only source. Anything else is less than. You know, there's a passage that said, "Let no weapon formed against me will ever prosper." It says, "As God is for you, who and what can be against you?" Why would you listen to anything or anyone else who doesn't know the plan that he has for you, plan to prosper you and not to harm you? Let's choose to listen to the correct voice. And by doing so, only good can come to you who are beloved of God. You are beloved. You are so loved by the energy and essence that we know is God. For when it sees you, it sees itself. There's nothing you can't possess. There's nothing you can't be. There's nothing that cannot be healed. It all begins with your surrenderance. It all begins when you give him your thoughts. And by doing so, he'll give them back to you as miracles, which joyously proclaim the wholeness and the happiness God wills for his son or daughter. Let God's will be done in your life today, unapologetically, without limitations. Let it inspire you to be more than you've ever considered yourself to be. Let it move you and shift you beyond the ideologies and the senses that you've inhabited and inherited over the years and over generations that have prevented you from truly being your best and highest self, your divine self, in alignment with the master creator. I challenge you to do so today. Let's just spend a few moments on this thought. All things are echoes of the voice for God. Everything tangible and intangible. Innate. Everything. Live. Everything. Is the voice of God. If we can just listen to that still voice, trust it with all of our might, all of our ways. Wow. What a glorious experience we will allow ourselves to be able to have on a consistent basis. Let's take a moment and pray for gratitude. Give a prayer of gratitude Father, Mother God, we give thanks for you for this moment, for this understanding, for the power that is invested in these words and in this reading this morning. We thank you for this session and everything that it gives to us as we prepare to go forth and be more of the shining bright light that you've called us to be. We give thanks for love being limitless and unconditional. We give thanks for the ability to let go of these limited beliefs, these thoughts that will cause us to perish. We give thanks for the realignment and reconnection with all that you have for us. Every sense of joy, all happiness, all peace, peace that surpasses all understanding. Your truth, your goodness. We give thanks for your welfare. We give thanks for the abundance and prosperity that is laced in your inheritance. We give thanks to being your children and your beneficiaries. We give thanks for how you continuously pull us up and bring us out of these tired times, these moments of dire situations where you lift us up and remind us of who we are and the power that is invested in us. We just ask in this moment that you undergird us as we continue to march forward, as we continue to stand in the knowingness of the truth of who we are in this moment, the truth of your abundance, the truth of your prosperity, the truth of your the unlimited nature that you have created. We give thanks for your blessings and for you continuously blessing us indeed. We give thanks for every door that you close and those that you're opening. We give thanks for the transitioning of those who are transitioning in this moment in time, whether transitioning from one household to another, one job to another, one career to another. Whatever that transition is, we just ask that you be with them each step along the way, with the wonderful reminder that the best is yet to come. And we give thanks. Have your will to be done on earth as it is in heaven, this day and forevermore. And so it is. It is so. Amen and amen and ashe. All right, good people. If you missed any part of today's session, feel free to go back to YouTube. Go back to YouTube and you can get it. Go back to YouTube and you can get it from the beginning. One Transformation Center. And while you're over there, please click the like button, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you can be aware of any upcoming programs, whether it's the morning manifestation sessions that are happening now at the 5 a.m. club, Eastern Standard Time, or the Wednesday night programs that come on as well, and the other special editions that we bring your way. As we reminded you earlier, our mission is to inspire, motivate, and heal lives and relationships across the globe. So we invite you to support our mission with a donation, whether via Giveify. Just simply search for One Transformation Center in Giveify app or on their website, and you can make a donation of whatever you find, whatever your spirit, whatever your soul leads you to provide. You can also send a donation via Cash App directly to me as well at Cash App Samuel Crumby Jr. SamuelCrumbyJr. See it at the bottom of the screen right there. And we'd like to thank you for continuously investing in your transformation. And we hope that you continue to join us each and every morning throughout the week at 5 a.m. And we're still doing 8 a.m. on Saturday and Sundays. We may push that back too, but for now, it's still at 8 a.m. It's important that we get our rest so we're recuperated and ready to go. Oh, I just thank you all for joining me so much this morning and allowing me to share with you, to stand in the space with you on your journey. And you standing with me. So as you go forth today, I want you to remember, be the change you desire to see. I'll say that again. Be the change you desire to see. Until next time, good people, I love you. I honor you. I support you with my whole heart. Go forth and be that which you're called to be. Until next time, be great. Guess what? I see God in you.